Sarah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yay. Well, I know health and wellness is obviously a big part of your life. Has it always been the case? Have you always had a passion for wellness and food?
Yeah, it has. I think for me, it really started when I was a teenager. So I look, it was never the plan to be a clinical nutritionist. None of this was ever the plan. It just it's a calling that found me. But when I was a teenager, I had IBS. So I had it, and it was related to a gluten sensitivity. And I was back then, and I'm 52. So
And you look amazing.
I'm like 52.
Obviously, what you're eating
so it works. I've
is
done a lot
working.
I've been working hard at this. But I think I just picked up a non-celiac gluten sensitivity, and I started researching back then because I was like bloated, I was uncomfortable, and my quality of life was compromised. So I ended up sort of around about 15, 16. I would eat my mum might make me some meat and salad roll for lunch, and I'd be like looking 5 months pregnant at dinner time, and just felt dreadful. So I started really realizing that how much food was impacting my quality of life.
Okay.
And from that age, and I thought, okay, I'm going to start researching, and I just started through my own passion and interest because I just love the feeling of waking up, feeling energized, just embracing every day. I love that feeling. I actually hate feeling sick. I'm not someone who's going to lay in bed.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to research that, and I worked out that it was gluten. It was not a celiac disease, but I was just really sensitive to it. I took gluten out of my diet, and then things just turned around in my life. Like I had a flat tummy. I felt good. I could do things. I was young, and I just worked out that if I didn't eat that, and that sort of was probably the start of the journey. Like the goal was to be a marine archaeologist. That never happened. And then I started realizing that I was good at this. So I started through those early years when I was doing my science degree before nutritional medicine. I really worked out this is something I love, I'm good at. And so then I moved into studying nutritional medicine, and it just one thing came after the other. And I think, what drives me in this is I know the feeling of wellness and health, and I want everyone to have it. Like I want
I
people,
feel good.
and I want to share what I know and what I've learned and my success in my clinic and treating patients and seeing people's lives change, seeing people get off medication, seeing people date, seeing people go down dress sizes, seeing people just feel really good about themselves. And my work in education over the years has been a vessel to really help them live their best life. So it's all about, I just want to see, I want people to feel amazing but from an evidence-based perspective.
I love that story.
Yeah.
So, because you're very passionate about it. And I think that really shows in your books.
Yes.
The first question that comes to mind for me is for all the mamas about coffee. Because you're saying feeling good and, get up and be able to achieve everything they want to achieve in the day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love my morning coffee.
Yeah, totally.
I don't start my day with it,
Yeah.
but there's so much mixed things online, especially since social media now.
Correct.
Like, I'm definitely going to ask you some myths and
Yeah.
things that I see online.
Yeah.
But coffee, that's the first one. Is it bad? Is it good? Can we have one or two? Is it just stay clear from? Have natural caffeine? What's your opinion?
Okay, coffee is amazing. Coffee is amazing. So all you coffee lovers out there can rejoice.
We can continue?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I go to bed at night waking up thinking, I can't wait to wake up and have that coffee.
I do too.
And I'm thinking I need to get a life if I'm thinking about
Think of that morning coffee.
I love coffee. Coffee's
my
amazing.
goodness.
In fact, I've done all of the research on coffee.
I've seen both black and white.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you can have, it's actually good for you to have one a day. And I've seen can cut caffeine completely out.
Yeah.
So it's very confusing.
It's really mixed. And I think it comes down to what works best for you, because I know people who have coffee and they get jittery and they get anxiety.
Yeah.
I know other people who have coffee like me and not like you, and we just get a dopamine hit and we love it and we enjoy it. And it's a stimulant, it's an appetite suppressant, it's great for the gym, it's good for mood, it's mood boosting, it's heart healthy. There's great research that I delved right deep into that shows that people who actually are coffee drinkers have 45% lower risk of liver disease, which is really important, taking care of our liver. So what it comes down to, though,
I'm not going to feel guilty.
never
with my
feel
morning coffee
guilty
anymore.
and love it, embrace it. Now, amount. So that was the other part of that question. So I think that, look, you wouldn't be, my guidelines, 4 would be my max in a day. And I think, if you go past any of that, you could be impacting your sleep. I looked at a really fascinating study in the UK when I was really delving into coffee and to get a greater understanding of it. And all of the findings, there was people there drinking 25 cups a day of coffee, and it still didn't impact their health. Yes, it did, in as far as in cardiovascular health, it did. It's clearly that would be a bit dehydrating, so you'd be wanting to match that with water. But coffee's great. So, but again, it comes down to what works best for you.
Okay,
as
and
I
how
said,
you feel.
How you feel, because and some people swear by it, and like me, I would never want to give it up, and some people just found that it didn't do them any favors. So, the other thing is you've got to be careful of the milks and the syrups and the sugars, and then. If you're making the coffees, like when the recommendations with coffees, I'm talking really about black coffee. If you have, I'm not saying go and have 4 or 5 cappuccinos a day, because if you do that right there, you're literally going to start gaining weight, because every coffee, a coffee would be 120 to 150 calories depending on the milk. And then if you're doing that 5 times a day, well, that's the equivalent of a burger and fries. So you've got to watch what you add to it.
Yeah,
so.
I add vanilla syrup, so I'm a naughty coffee drinker, and full cream milk.
Okay, so that's,
but I only really have one.
If you have one, then that's fine. Because it's really, but if you're doing that 5 times a day, then you're going to, increase your risk of things like insulin resistance, which goes on to, it's not a great habit.
So cautious of what you're adding in there
yourself
too.
For what you add. I always say to my patients, 1 takeaway a day max, like a barista one. And then the rest, maybe it's just some coffee shots, or if you can do black. I in summer love a frappe, I just actually instant coffee with ice.
Yum.
Yeah, that
delicious.
I can't drink hot black coffee. I find that a bit icky, but I can drink cold black coffee. So coffee lovers out there,
great.
you're
Good
free.
To know.
Yes.
So talking
amazing.
about morning and starting our day, this is something I also see online a lot, and it's quite confusing, is for women fasting.
Yeah.
So I've heard it's great to start the day and fast for a certain amount of time. That can be great, but I've also heard start your day with your supplements. You're making sure you're having the right amount of protein, something to fill you up.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the best for women?
100%, and I say this absolutely, it is, I can't stress enough how important it is for women to start their day with breakfast.
Okay.
Now, the research on fasting, guess what? It's only ever really been done on men. So men are full of testosterone. We're full of estrogen. Women should not be fasting. If you look at all of the research that I've looked at, and I've seen this, I would die to miss out on breakfast. I would be hungry. I would be unpleasant. I would be irritable. I would be looking at the time, waiting for lunch. I'd probably be just a little bit snarky, just sort of trying to get through to lunch. And then I'd probably eat something big at lunch because I'd be starving. Research shows that people who set themselves up for a great day ahead with starting the day with a big glass of water, because we wake up dehydrated. And if you want amazing energy first thing in the morning, before your coffee.
Give us a rundown.
Okay. Wake up. Get yourself a big, tall glass of water, 500 mils, because we dehydrate overnight. So when we're dehydrated, we can feel a little bit headachy and we can feel a little bit tired. Hit yourself up with that. I do 2 glasses of water. Sometimes I squeeze lemon in it.
Yeah.
You will feel instantly energized and straight away hydrated and focused.
Love.
Now, and then I sit on that for a little bit. Then I'll make a coffee, and usually I do some supplements right now. I'm doing some NAD.
Love.
Yeah, and
we
I've been
do that
doing
at my
that.
clinic. We do the IM injection.
So good.
Love.
It's so good. And then I kind of wait till I start to feel a little bit hungry. So for me, I wouldn't just go straight. I just think when you feel hungry. Now, if you have breakfast, and for me, the breakfast always has to include a protein, satiates you, gets you to lunch without snacking, stabilizes blood glucose levels.
Yep.
It's really important for growth and development, and for our hormones, for our enzymes, plays a huge role in our body. And so aim for anywhere between 20 and 30 grams for protein to start your day.
Okay.
I'm someone who does more of the Greek yogurt, and I'm a chia seed kind of fruit girl in the morning. I'm not really the savory. But have breakfast when you start to feel hungry, when your first signal comes. And for that, it might be an hour or two. It might be within an hour. It just depends. I always wait for my first signal, and I'm like, actually, I'm ready for breakfast now, which is usually before 8 o'clock.
Okay.
And also there's great research that shows that if you have breakfast, you will then set yourself up for a great day ahead. And people who have breakfast tend to have a healthier relationship with food. They're nurturing their body, they're nourishing their body, and they usually have a much better success with eating during the course of the day. As far as the fasting goes, that I've had patients, it's quite funny, I have patients coming in, they're like, yeah, I do the 16-8, I eat at lunchtime, and I'm like, well, okay. And then I wait a bit, and I'm like, well, what did you weigh to? Because they're seeing me for weight loss. What did you weigh 2 years ago? Oh, 70. And I'm like, okay, let's wait. I wait a bit, and then I'll put them on the scales, and okay, you're 70, so guess what? Your 16-8 didn't work, so we're going to bin that now.
Yeah.
That is 100% to all my female patients. So, yeah, that's
so breakfast when the first signal.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, you've definitely cleared some myths already.
Love myth busting.
Yes, well,
big fan.
That's the next question. What do you think the biggest health myth you wish could just disappear?
Look, honestly, the biggest rapid weight loss works, I would have to say. Like there is so many, I mean, we can see it with Ozempic, we can see it with everyone is looking for something quick and fast. Nothing quick and fast works. I mean, if you want success with, long-term maintaining healthy weight, nothing rapid is going to work. You've got to just follow a program, eat healthy. I think the other one is, I suppose, when it comes to a myth too, calories in, calories out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, people often say calories. So, for example, that's another myth. Say, for example, you have 1,500 calories a day in chocolate, and you have 100 calories a day in things like eggs and avocado and apples and fruit. Well, it's calories in, calories out. Well, but the thing is, yes, the calories are equal, but at the end of the day, they impact the human body very differently.
Yes.
So all of the chocolate's going to elevate your blood glucose.
That's like those videos that I see online, and I think it was my husband that showed me and saved this guy, and he puts like 10 Krispy Kreme donuts next to like
an avocado.
And he's like, well, which one did you think was more healthy? And he's like the Krispy Kreme donuts or the cheeseburger. And I'm like, how is that? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, it could be the same calories. I think that's what you're speaking about.
It's the same calories.
But it's doing different things to the body.
Correct. So whilst you're having the Krispy Kreme, this kind of stuff drives me mad.
And it's going viral. So you can see it's very confusing and damaging.
Totally. And so what the donuts are basically doing is they're elevating your blood glucose. So you're in a constant state of inflammation. You have where are the nutrients? Like, I'm sorry, where's your vitamins and minerals and fiber and antioxidants? They're not in those donuts. Whereas if you were to have the equivalent in an avocado or a pile of avocados of whatever the contrast was, you're getting anti-inflammatories, you're getting a lot of fiber, you're supporting your brain health, you're supporting your gut health, you're supporting your heart. You just like all of those good fats are incredible. So you're lowering your risk of cardiovascular disease, you're supporting your gut, you're lowering your inflammation, and you're staying satiated, you're full, you're not getting more sugar cravings and more sugar cravings. So that I can't stand. Yeah, they're bad.
Do you ever comment on any of them when you see them online? Or are you very mellow?
That's such a good question. Okay, so sometimes...
Because that would make, if it was my profession and I knew that wasn't the right kind of information, I would be like, why are you putting this out?
Yeah, sometimes I pick my battles. So sometimes I feel like getting in there and going, can you please stop saying stuff like this? And then I
would love to see that.
I have done that. I've like, this is ridiculous. Where is your evidence? And you are saying this. And you've got to understand there's people who may believe this out there. And then sometimes I think, do I really feel like a battle right now? Yeah. Maybe do I have the energy to fight with some keyboard warrior who would say nothing to my face or nothing to this person's face? Do I really feel like... So sometimes I'm like, I should. Depends on my mood. I have done. Okay, and then I did recently on one post about seed oils.
Oh, that was one of my questions. But what did you say?
And I just wrote back. I can't stand all this seed oil, like raw milk, like all of this ridiculous stuff. Anyway, there was a whole seed oil thing, and someone's on there going on and on and on about seed oils. And I was like, I just wrote, I'm deeply embarrassed for you to be putting yourself in a social in social media with your following. You are making an absolute fool of yourself. You are a complete clown. I'm actually embarrassed for you.
In.
I went
Sarah.
in. went back and looked at the post. There was like thousands of people who liked my comment, and then that person didn't respond. It was a while ago, but I just looked at that and I thought, I'm cringing for you.
Yeah,
you
and
are
like, where did
making
they
a
get
fool
their
of
information
yourself.
from? That is one thing I did want to ask you about. Is to everyone listening, what oil? What oil do we cook with? Because my pantry has avocado, I've got coconut, I've got the seed, because I hear one thing and I go and buy that, and then I hear another thing and I go, and I've just got them all there. And I'm like, okay, which one was the healthy one again?
Yeah, look, okay, there is nothing wrong with...
Extra virgin?
There is extra virgin's the king. The queen, that is the queen. I'm going to call her the queen.
Okay.
It is the all-star extra virgin olive oil. It's amazing. Not olive oil, extra virgin. When it's just olive, it's got blends.
Okay.
So it could have a bit of canola in there. So it's kind of like cordial. Like it's been watered down a bit with something cheaper.
Got you.
Yeah, but my kitchen's got every kind of oil in there. There is nothing wrong with seed oils. Seed oils are not a problem whatsoever. In fact, there is great research to say that they're beneficial to our health. The reason why people go hard on seed oils is because seed oils are used in a lot of packaged products, right?
Okay.
So they're a source of omega-6. Now, we want our omega-6 and our omega-3 balanced. And then the thing is, because people are eating so much packaged food, which omega-6 is amazing to help these foods, they're amazing for manufacturing of foods in packets pretty much, like protein bars and different lots of different things like muesli bars, all of those kind of things. The problem is people are eating 80% of their diet is eating packaged food, so their omega-6 is too high, and all of a sudden they're fear-mongering seed oils when, hold on a minute, just eat some real food. If you did the flip and you had 80% whole foods, real foods in your diet, then the seed oils aren't a problem. They're not a problem.
So
I love the
diet.
it just depends on your diet, and there is nothing wrong with seed oils. Yeah.
Okay, well that's clarified.
So
for you guys,
for Emilee.
Yes.
In my kitchen, I've got coconut oil for baking. It depends on the smoke point. So it's learning. So things like a walnut oil has a high smoke point, so you don't cook with it. Okay. Whereas you've got things like a peanut oil, and an avocado oil, they've got a high smoke point. So you just don't want the oil to burn. So you have to learn smoke point.
Which ones?
Yeah, and then there's ones with medium smoke point. So there's ones which are great, like a flaxseed and a walnut oil. They're great for your salads as dressing. And then olive oil's broad spectrum, all around, great for everything. Coconut oil's got a high smoke point, so which means it doesn't burn at high heat. Then same with some of the seed oils, they don't burn, which means that because when they burn, it changes structure, and that's dangerous to our health. So you just don't want to be having burnt oil.
Okay,
yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
Point.
And the pan's important too, right? That's something I've recently learned, like which pans you cook with, not the ones that
it can erode.
Yes,
and then you end up eating all of them.
Yeah, so that's something I've just converted in my household.
Yeah, I always update the pan.
Yeah, when you get the scratches on there.
As soon as I say a scratch, it's gone. Yeah, there's some really good ones out there.
Sarah, do you only shop? I feel like you're the type of woman to only shop at like a Whole Foods. Like for us girlies that maybe don't go to Whole Foods, can we find healthy stuff in the other shops?
I'm so flattered that I look like a Whole Foods girl.
Organic Flannery's only.
No.
Farmers markets only.
Totally, I'm not. I'm a single mum with 3 kids.
So you need convenience, right?
Yeah, totally. So I think the key is knowing. So I'm a supermarket shopper. Yes, I will go into maybe some more boutique-y kind of health food stores to grab a little bit of this and a bit of that, but they're mega expensive. So I'm an in-season shopper. So for my family, I always buy fruit and vegetables and produce that's basically in season. The easiest hack to know that. It's at the front of the supermarket as soon as you walk in. It doesn't mean that the buyer's bought too many strawberries. It's what you get 2 for 1.
And they're usually like a lower price because they're in season, right?
But that's what our body needs at that time of year. So you think of all the citrus and the root vegetables. They're amazing for our immunity and for keeping us warm in winter. We're not going to make soups and stews and eat a lot of potatoes in summer. Then you think of spring. There's a lot of the leafy greens, which are great for supporting detox pathways. Then you can kind of think of summer, watermelon and cucumbers, everything that's super hydrating. And then you think of going into like autumn, and it's more things like avocados to fatten us up for winter. You should follow what your body needs at that time of year. It's great on budget. You're supporting local farmers. It's harvested when it's ripe. It is nutrient dense and delicious. And even if you do like berries and stuff out of season, frozen is just as good.
What?
Frozen is fine. It's actually, yes. Frozen berries are
hear
fine.
that it like loses its nutrients. Is that not true?
It's not true.
Another myth.
It's not true. I've done all the research on it. So
okay, my kids love smoothies, so that's great for me. Just pop them in the smoothie.
Totally. Yeah, and you can do that when berries are like, instead of when they're $11 a punnet, and you're like,
so you can find the goods in your, your everyday grocery store for women that are maybe, because it's expensive.
So expensive.
And with kids, like I'm going to the grocery store like 2 times a week now.
Yeah,
it used to be once. I don't know if they're all growing or what, but I have to go.
What's your oldest?
14.
And what gender?
Female.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So
yeah,
she eats probably the least amount. Like she didn't even want me packing her a lunchbox at one point. I'm like, girl, you need to eat. And she's like, oh, I'm not really that hungry at school. I'm like, hello, you're a growing girl. Like I try to make good lunchboxes. I do.
Lunchbox is a big thing.
It's a big thing, and I have some questions for you because I am kind of traumatized from it because I remember sharing a lunchbox and it just wasn't up to par with what I should have
Were you
had.
being judged? Did you get lunchbox judgment?
Yes, I was.
From other kids or parents?
No, from social media because I posted the lunchboxes. So I find it hard because obviously I try to pack, good food for the kids, like fruit and veg, some protein, some like little, not as much packet stuff. Like I still sneak some stuff in there. Like I'm trying to fill up a whole big giant lunchbox. Like I'm guilty of packet food too. Yeah. But some days, like you just run out. You've got to stop at the bakery, like finger buns it is, put it in there. Like you do what you can do. You don't want the child to starve at school, do you?
No, I know.
So it was one of those days I had a finger bun in their lunchbox. And the comments I got was that I pretty much poisoned my children. So what is some lunchbox hacks? Because I need this. This is a question for me.
I think I worked out I worked out a while ago that I'd made over 7,000 lunchboxes in my life. When I looked at my 3 daughters, I actually sat down and I did it, and I was like,
did the maths? Was it different every day? Because you're like in the food industry, or were you just like, this is what you're getting every day of the week?
Well, it was really hard because the thing was, if the lunchbox was too healthy, it would come home and go in the bin, and I just was like, I'm fed up. I've gone through my battles. I've gone through my highs and lows. I've gone through lunchbox trauma. I've been judged. I've been all of that. So when I would make super healthy lunchboxes, they were a boomerang. They would get to school and they'd come back and I'd go, oh, well, this is nice. I've just made this to put in the bin, because it's things I've chopped up and they've been sitting in the backpack all day.
They go a bit soggy.
And they go a bit soggy. So I'd be like, oh, I loved working really hard to buy all of that food to put in the bin.
Yeah.
So that side of it's really frustrating. And then
they just want canteen.
They want.
They bring you back the.
They want canteen as well.
Is it tuck shop or canteen?
Yeah. Well, it's online. Just whatever it is. I don't even know.
Yep.
I didn't let my kids do it. I was like, you're not doing that crap. We're not doing that. So, look, I had to work out. My daughters all of them were very different. So my eldest daughter actually was a big fan of the leftover in the little thermos, and I was like, oh well, that's good. So she quite liked that.
That's good.
But yeah, generally I just had a rule where I would just try those little Baby Bell cheeses. Like things like that. So I would try and get protein in there of some kind.
Yep.
Sometimes I always did the bento box. So we moved from trying to do sandwiches. Sandwiches never worked to like a bento box style.
Okay.
That always worked. And I always found if I got my kids involved, the onus was on them. And I'd be like, what are we going to do? Because I really don't want to work and put more food in the bin. Like, what's the plan here?
Such a waste.
So I used to make them eat. I'd say, well, that's it. You're not having dinner until you finish that lunchbox that I literally spent 20 minutes making this morning. So I'd say, this is afternoon tea. So I would get them really involved. And I'd just say, right, let's go shopping. Everyone's going to do it. We're going to do a lunchbox shop for the week.
Okay.
I would make things. So I would get them to do baking. So we would make muffins. So muffins for the week on a Sunday, which of course were made with like good ingredients like bananas and oats and maple syrup and some wholemeal flour or whatever, like that, flax seeds, whatever I ended up putting in there, chia, cinnamon. And we'd do baking, so they'd have that for a couple of days to put in there.
Love.
Which was the treat. And then that, because they had made it, they were more inclined to eat it. And then I would just put things like seaweed. Seaweed was a big thing. They love that as a snack. So seaweed and corn chips, getting away from, we would never do the Smith's chips or anything like that, but corn chips were a good option. They always loved crackers and chips. All of the
That's
whole.
a good alternative.
So we did
corn chips.
Yeah, the corn chips. Little things like if we had a schnitzel the night before, it would be just diced up, put into the bento box. Tomatoes, berries, always some hummus and carrots.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah, and just little like hummus, carrots, and then always a treat. The treat, I'm just thinking of Chloe's lunchbox. The treat this week has been those little rice wheel things.
With like the yogurt or chocolate.
Yeah. So we generally do that.
Okay, I feel like I'm doing a lot better.
I think get them to make it. Just say, hey guys, why
get
don't
them
you
involved?
And I have a lunchbox section. So just things like, and if I'm feeling enthused, I'll make like muesli bars from scratch. I often do that. It's like it just depends. But really, in winter, it would be leftovers in a thermos, and it might be spaghetti bolognese, or it could be, but it's hard. But what I do focus on, because I know, and now they put protein bars in them, but I do really focus on I did get judged like, oh, I can't believe your mum's a clinical nutritionist and you've got some packet food in your lunchbox. And my kids would come home and be like, Mum, and I'd be like, relax, we're all human. Like, take it easy. Like, we're all doing our best. Mm-hmm. So I would always focus on the breakfast. So my kids would have smoothies as well.
Yep. Okay.
Throw a lot of stuff in the smoothie, and I would always focus on a really good dinner and a really good breakfast. And you know what? If the lunchbox didn't work, it didn't work. And I just let go of it all.
I love hearing that from like a nutritionist, an expert in the field. Like sometimes you have
Pick
days
your battles
where
a finger bun might just be the trick.
Yes. And so I think that's something like that just feels so nice to know that we're not in this alone. Like we all try our best. And sometimes I have weeks where I do things from scratch too. Like I'll do little muesli bars as well. And like the meatballs and like little scrolls. I love scrolls because that's quite easy.
Yeah.
With what the kids want in it, like a pizza one or a Vegemite scroll and things like that. And I'm like so organized and it's all labeled in the fridge. And sometimes I'm like, you know what? It's that and this and just grab it from the cupboard because I'm working more that week or I just haven't been to the grocery store. So it's like just giving yourself the lenience and not being so hard on yourself.
Being a realist.
It's like the mum guilt that comes in with it. It's like even me sometimes, like I have to pull myself out of it quick. It's like I haven't been baking because like I've been flying in and out of Sydney and I've been working and I've got multiple businesses. And I'm like, you see some mums that, are at home and they get to make everything from scratch. And it's like, I feel bad. Like, is that meant to be me?
You can't feel bad. You just sometimes I just always say to there's moments where I've just, I'm sure my kids have gone to school without lunch when I've been working. Because, I do breakfast television throughout the week sometimes. So
you're a busy
I
lady.
leave the house and I'm left out at 7
Fend for yourself.
I'm like, guys, sink or swim, live and learn. You can do it. You can do it. Where no one's disabled here. We're all able-bodied humans.
Yeah.
I love you. You're okay. Bye. I'm out.
Figure it out.
I'm gone.
You know what? That almost pushes them to kind of step up and learn.
Yeah, totally.
Like I watch Matilda with the kids and she's making her own pancakes and everything. Have you seen that movie,
I love
Matilda? And I tell my kids, I'm like, guys, this needs to be you. Like she's like 5 and cooking and walking to the library and everything. I'm like, well, maybe not any of that. No one leave the house. But look at this little girl. I love that movie.
That movie, my kids, I've seen that on repeat with my daughters and they'd be like, Bruce Bogtrotter and Miss Trunchbull and the Chokey.
Oh my God, I love that movie.
Miss Honey.
Well, Sarah, I want to ask you about detoxes and cleansers.
Yes.
I feel like there's so many online. Do our bodies actually need them? Or are they just like pure hype?
Absolutely ridiculous. Completely pure
really?
hype.
Can I tell you one that my mum used to do like my whole childhood? I just remember my mum doing this. The warm water with organic natural maple syrup, cayenne pepper and lemon.
Yes.
But she used to drop the kilos. Like, I'm not gonna...
Oh yeah, well she's dropping the kilos of muscle as well as water as well as fat, like all three. She's not focusing on, it's not a fat loss program. So it's just rapid weight loss. And that rapid weight loss, as soon as you stop it, it all goes back on. And guess what? Unless you're at the gym, it goes back on as fat. So it's really important to understand our bodies are in a constant, we're detoxing right now through kidneys, gastrointestinal tract, breathing and sweating. We're in a constant state of detox. What we can do is we can support our detox pathways.
Okay.
So we can eat lots of produce. It's great for our liver. That's going to support our liver so it works better. We can eat a lot of high fiber fruit and vegetables. We can eat legumes and things that are going to support the motility of our gut so we can eliminate better.
Okay.
We can be through sweating and breathing and exercise and stuff. We can just through our skin. We're constantly detoxing and just drinking a lot of water so that our body can filter well.
So that's like a natural detox. That's good for the body.
You can support it with whole foods and real foods, but skinny teas and tinctures.
Running to the toilet. Like some of them have like laxatives and
all of that. That's
like
just
running...
like, what are you doing? Who wants to do that?
I think what you said, which I learnt recently, I think it was listening to another podcast too, was the hype about these fast weight loss things like Ozempic and things like that. Yeah. And then women are losing their muscle.
Yeah.
So they'll put it back on, the weight,
fat.
And they'll put it on as fat.
Yeah.
And as we get older, I think it's 30 and up, like it's very hard to maintain that muscle.
Correct. So, yeah.
So that was a big eye opener for me because you don't really think of that when you're losing weight, whether you're losing muscle or fat. You just think you're losing weight, you're getting skinnier, you can fit in that outfit that you want to fit in. You don't think about exactly losing the muscle and then not being able to put it on as easily.
And so this is the thing. So this is what, so I'm against Ozempic, and I proudly say that because I've just got so many patients that are coming. I've got patients with type 2 diabetes who have literally been on Ozempic for 2 years, and I've written about it, who have not even lost more than 2 kilos.
Wow.
I've got women who have come in with eating disordered behavior and they've got 5 kilos to lose and they're taking Ozempic. I've got people who are taking it, just for no reason at all. Like they just like want to lose a little bit of weight, and it's not like they're getting married or they're, in a bikini on the cover of a magazine. They just want to lose a bit of weight.
Does it make you mad that it's glamorized?
It's horrible. And what happens is okay, number one, it's not getting to the core of the problem of why you have an issue with food in the first place. It's really, it feeds into eating disorder so badly. And you've got to, so I'm a fat loss expert. So my first book, The 10-10 Plan's got well and truly over 1 million kilos off Australians, and it shows people how to keep it off for life. And the thing is, when you lose weight, you have to lose fat because muscle is active tissue. So when you've got muscle is hungry for calories. It's active. So even after you work out, you still burn calories. It regulates your blood glucose. So you imagine you've injected a substance. All of a sudden, you've lost 40% of the weight loss is muscle, which is really, really hard to put back on in the gym. Like you've got to go to the gym and do serious weights 3 or 4 times a week, even to put on like half a kilo of muscle, which isn't a lot if you think of that, if you think of what half a kilo of muscle tissue looks like. So what these people are doing is they're taking this medication that makes them feel awful. And there is new research saying that the majority of people after 2 years of being on this medication come off it because they just feel so horrible. It does massive gut disruptions to the gut microbiome. I've seen people who haven't had a bowel movement for 2 weeks. I've seen people who have with kidney stones. I've seen people with massive hair loss, malnutrition. There's all these Ozempic face. Because it's muscle loss. Guess what? We've got muscles all in our face too. It doesn't just go, oh, I'm just going to focus on muscle from your glutes or it's overall. And guess what? Our heart is a muscle as well. Like a whole.
Oh my gosh, that's scary.
That's just like scary. So then you see these people do this, and then all of a sudden they put the weight back on, and the weight goes on as fat, and then they they panic again. Then they go back on Ozempic. They lose more muscle, and it's called osteosarcopenic obesity, where you end up. You just lose muscle, and you put on more and more and more weight, and you end up just becoming, in simple terms, a fat skeleton. And guess what?
Wow.
How are you? You've got all this weight on you, and how are you going to? Where's your stability and your mobility and your healthy aging? You're full of inflammation.
Yeah.
What fractures and falls?
It's not looking good.
The skeleton. Where's its support? This is years of yo-yo dieting. It's the same as the merry-go-round. And I was talking to a GP about this recently, and she feels like. You can't, it's just like for people who start using those medications, they end up, because we don't have any really long-term research on it either, because they're all so new.
And there's new ones popping up too.
They're everywhere, and there's now the tablets. And I just think, and the thing is, Emilee, you're not getting to the core of the problem. And people, the core, emotional eating, poor relationship with food, binge eating, stress eating, boredom eating. Like what is your problem with food that you've got this issue in the first place? Peel all those layers back and get down to the core. Do you need therapy? Do you need to talk to someone about...
Do people see therapists about eating?
I talk to people a lot when I've got people that come in and see me, because a lot of my clinic work, probably 50% of my clinic work would be weight loss.
Yeah.
And when I start a program with someone, I'm like, okay, why are we here? I'm like, what is it? And they'll do this thing where they'll go, I'm a foodie, I'm an emotional eater. And I'm like, no. So I let them have it for a bit. And then I am pretty direct with my patients.
Yeah, I feel like you're a realist.
I know, I just tell them, I say, well, let's play the I am game. You are giving yourself a label. So I could sit here and I'd say, hi, my name's Sarah. I'm a foodie. And then, of course, I'm going to behave like a foodie. Oh, hi, I'm Sarah. I'm an emotional eater. I truly believe you should never say something you would not wish to be. So when people wake up in the day and they go, I wake up and go, I'm tired. It's like you're choosing to say that.
Yeah.
I've had no sleep and I've gone in and done live TV on no sleep because of a daughter being out, my kids when they start.
Yeah.
This is to come for you.
Okay. The late pickups.
The 1
a.m.
Yes.
pickups. Oh my goodness. I'll be like, I'm having my beauty sleep. Like, get a lift from a friend.
I know.
I don't know about that.
I know. But then you think that and you do that and then you start looking at Life 360. Where are they? Are they okay?
Yeah.
Did that Uber
and then you
pick
don't
them
sleep
up?
anyway.
You don't sleep. And so power of mind's really important. So
100%.
95% of what we believe is what happens.
Yes.
So if you believe you're an emotional eater, you'll behave like one. If you believe you're sick, even if you're not sick, you'll act sick and probably become sick. It's the same with weight. So much of it, I just talk to people. Mindset.
Okay, Sarah, let's say there's someone listening now, because this would be a lot of the listeners, because it is trending, these weight loss drugs, and they're like, you know what, I just want to fit in that dress, or have that wedding, or have that event. I'm just going to lose 5 kilos. Let me just get on it. Instead of them doing that and losing their muscle and all of these really horrible side effects, what is some top tips they can do to lose those kilos without putting it back on?
Okay, so 100% make sure that there's protein with every meal. So eat protein 20 to 30, your palm pretty much. I always say use your palm. Okay. Don't skip breakfast. Every time you're feeling hungry.
I love that you clarified that, because that's something I've always questioned.
So every time you're feeling hungry, and every time you're feeling hungry, have a couple of glasses of water, because often the hunger and hydration signal are mixed until you're parched, right? Lack of water and lack of sleep lead to weight gain. So make sure you're sleeping well. Exercise.
But that's hard for a lot of the listeners, I'm assuming, if their mum is.
I know, absolutely. Well, you have to do your best. Maybe nap in the day. The 18
if you're working.
Nap. If you're working, it's hard. I've napped in my car. I'm going to confess.
Wherever you can, right?
I do that. The 18-minute nap, because it doesn't. That's a good trick. Protein with every meal. Definitely low carb fruit and vegetables.
Okay.
So your non-starchies. So think of greens. Make sure you're having fruit every day. Small portions. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you should be able to sit on your hand.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of my rule with it. And then exercise is a non-negotiable. So exercise is really important for building muscle. Puts you in a good mood.
You're very toned, I must say.
I love Pilates and I love exercise. Exercise to me is the pillar of everything.
So movement alongside all of these tips that you just said.
I'm an exercise to me, if I don't, is magic. It's where it's longevity. It's muscle.
Okay, Sarah, what is your take on social media's videos like what I eat in a day?
I love this question. Do you know how many I get sent? People send these to me all the time, and there'll be someone who's like practically anorexic, literally.
I've seen some horrors lately.
And like what I eat in a day, and then they have the whole plates lined up. And then I've got patients that come in and go, how can she be eating all this and look like that? And then I've got people who copy it and they come and see me and go, I'm eating what this girl's eating every day and I'm putting on weight. And I'm like, they're dishonest. It's like the girls that came to school and went, I did no study. And they studied nonstop and got 100%. And they're like, I just didn't do any study. Remember those types? So I really find them really harmful. And I just think they have a look at the person. If anyone is literally looks like you could do an anatomy class off their body. So they've just got like skin over muscle, unless they're in the gym a whole lot, and they're really pumped and buffed and everything. They're not eating that. I can tell you right now, they would be eating a quarter of that. Most of them that I've seen are completely dishonest, because to have those bodies, and I think it's so sad, and I think it's really unfair to have that body. There's a few I've seen that are real. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. There's a few I've gone, that makes sense. Yep, she's being honest. You can see it. Yeah. Because I can look at a plate and I can literally calorie count it like that. I could literally very quickly go, yep, bang, 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 and I can look at all the nutrients, and I could do that in a matter of minutes. I could work out someone's day on a plate. And I'm like, yeah, you're not having all those bagels for breakfast. No, you're not having all that sweet potato for lunch, or your sweet potato sandwiches for lunch. And no, you're not having that big pasta at night, all those big stir fries and stuff. So be really careful, have a look at them. And at the end of the day, if something if you feel something's funny in your gut and you're thinking, no, I don't really believe that, chances are it's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I also got from that, don't always believe and trust everyone on social media.
No.
Like, go to experts like you
100%.
with, who's studied and actually clinically an expert for it, because a lot of people online are, they're all nutritionists and dietitians now, and they think they're experts. And so it's easy to find these videos as well. Like, everyone's online. So I think not to just believe everything you see and actually do your research and find someone that you can trust.
You have to look at who you're following. Okay, so really have a good look at the practitioner. Google them. Like, whoever I follow, I always will Google them. I'll look at their credentials. I'll look where they studied. I'll look who sponsors them. I go through a whole lot of questions to really look at their advice.
Okay.
And when they go, look at this citation, and they put, when they drop studies behind them, that's the latest thing, this citation and that citation and that. And then I even will go in and look at the citations and go, who sponsored that citation? Because if there's a study, on eggs are amazing supported by an egg farmer or something, even though eggs are amazing or whatever it was. And then you've got to do the deep dives into these people. I think I have a feeling a lot of this is going to change in the years to come, though. I think you're going to be able, I think people will, they have to regulate it because there's a lot of cowboys out there, drink raw milk. What else have I seen?
I've seen someone eat raw steak.
Yeah. I've seen that too.
Raw steak.
No, there's the
every day. That's all they eat.
It's a female.
But I actually do swallow it. So I'm like, surely that's not true. They'll get in their car, open the raw meat,
I've seen that too,
and just eat the steak.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, there's some crazy ones.
Scared.
The raw meat one is really, I've seen that as well.
Can
where
you
they literally
get poisoned and die of that or not?
Oh my gosh, totally. Like, especially raw milk, like salmonella and all the bacteria.
Yeah, I've seen the raw milk now.
Yeah, that's a big one. So and the other couple that I've seen lately is bed washing. Have you that bed washing for self-help, laying in, as in
what?
Okay, so laying in bed all day, doom scrolling, having a day off because it's self-care and self-love. And the other one, can I just say this is a major cringe one?
Tell me.
You've probably seen it. Free bleeding. Have you seen that?
No. And what the hell? Wait, I actually saw a video and it was a girl sitting on the grass. Was that it?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. She was sitting on the grass and she said she was, I feel bad for the producer, but she was sitting on the grass.
Bleeding, menstruating into the grass.
But what are they trying to say the benefits of that is?
Free bleeding to free flow, to be connected with nature and to get away from using things like pads and tampons. And I'm like, dude, we've come a long way since women didn't have pads.
My goodness.
And I'm like, please, people.
Let's end that trend right now.
It's horrific.
Let's not even start that trend.
We're not doing it here, but there is a free bleeding movement going on.
Oh my
you know,
goodness.
when you get your algorithm, and I'm like, I've looked at that one too, and I'm like, oh, wow. And then I'm looking at it again, and these women are like, and it's not great. So women have come a long way. We've got things now.
Yeah.
You think back to the Middle Ages, women didn't even have that. They used to have
I've seen the girl that's put it on her face.
Yeah.
And they say it's the best facial ingredients right there, all natural.
Yeah, not happening.
So staying clear.
That's like such an ick. That's so cringy.
No, I just can't with that. With some of the trends, some are believable and you're like, oh, you listen in for a bit and you watch it, they're engaging. But stuff like that, I'm just like, where am I on Instagram or TikTok right now? Like, I need to go to bed. Where have I gone? So Sarah,
so funny.
Finally,
yes.
If someone only had 5 minutes in a day to make a change in their diet, what is the most simple thing they could do to become more healthy?
Look, I'm going to say, so 5 minutes to change their diet.
They don't have much
time.
They're a busy gal.
Definitely. Okay, I've said this a few times already, and I'm not like on the trend of it all, but definitely for being satiated, make sure a protein with every meal. And I've always said that a few times. It is a big one for regulating blood glucose, feeding muscle, for enzymes, for hormones. I think if you've got 5 minutes to do some meal prep. I don't know. It's not 5 minutes though. Meal prep. And I think from a lifestyle perspective, a non-negotiable should be a non-negotiable should be absolutely be doing some form of movement every day for the endorphins, for feeling good, for feeling positive. I feel like when you do a bit of exercise, you're a lot more productive and great for your skin, great for supporting, just great for breathing, just for mental health. Even if it's jumping on this, even if you've got kids at home, for the listeners, grab a skipping rope, get the kids involved. Trampoline. I used to skip in the backyard with my kids.
Okay.
And skipping's really great for our skeletal health. It's great for if you're just jumping up and down on the spot. It's called bone bashing. It's really good so you can prevent things later in life like osteoporosis. Real foods, whole foods, portion control, exercise, water, sleep.
Amazing.
I've gone too far. That wasn't 5 minutes, but I've got too much to say.
Yeah. I feel like they're key things though that all of us can kind of achieve at home, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much,
I've
Sarah. I'm so
loved
glad
it.
you busted so many of those myths that I've seen online. I've argued with people and I'm like, no, it's this oil, or no, it's that one. And the debates I have with my, family and friends that come over and I'm cooking. So I feel like you have cleared off
I've done the
lot
research.
for me.
I've done the research.
You're a credible source.
Yeah,
There's no more of these random TikTok
the deep
advice
dives.
that I'm getting anymore. Well, thank you so much, Sarah.
It's been such a pleasure.
And I'm sure everyone will love listening into this episode.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. It's absolutely been so delightful.